Well, AdHoc has managed to do it. They have replaced Telltale in the Hall of Fame for this genre of games. So, to the surprise of no one, a new season for Dispatch is of course being talked about. This didn't really come as a surprise, of course, especially if you're a fan of such games and saw their numbers, because Dispatch has managed some pretty impressive numbers on Steam alone. If you haven't played such games before and you compare it to other games you might be playing like RPGs, extraction shooters and the such, then sure, these numbers aren't really that impressive, but for a Telltale-like game, they're incredible. These games have been attracting a very niche audience up until now, and I for one am ecstatic AdHoc has managed to introduce these games to so many new players and audiences, something that is evident if you compare their numbers to previous Telltale-like games. For example, Dispatch has managed to surpass even The Walking Dead, Telltale's most popular game, which is incredible news for this here starved Telltale fan, as this means more such games for us in the future. Of course, it will be some time before we ever get a new season, since as we've already covered in my previous videos about The Wolf Among Us 2 and Dispatch, AdHoc will be super busy with other games for a while. Plus, AdHoc may be the new kid on the block for this genre of games, but this new kid has massive experience in the field, so they know what they're doing, so I'm very hopeful about their future games as well. So after Dispatch is done, they'll move on to their game set in Exandria, so a D&D game that they're developing in partnership with Critical Role, and we will hopefully finally get some The Wolf Among Us 2 news and updates as well. Possibly. In any case, I couldn't be happier for these guys, as they truly deserve it for not only making an incredible game that deserves all the success and recognition of course, but for making this genre a bit more mainstream and popular as well. I can definitely see Dispatch being their The Walking Dead, and I cannot wait to see what they have in store for us next. I just hope they've learned from past mistakes though, about taking multiple games on all at once and then having to scrap IPs, ideas, delay episodes, cancel games altogether and so on, before ending up between a rock and a hard place like Telltale once did. I am a bit hopeful, however, as they certainly seem to have learned from the delayed episode problem at least, since they made sure the game was completed before the episodic release, and thus we didn't have to wait for like a month, or at times months, for a new episode to come out like we had to for Telltale games in the past. So I'm very optimistic and hopeful about them having learned from other past mistakes as well. Now, as for all the theories regarding the game and who the traitor is, this was supposed to be a separate video, to be honest, where I would go over the theory and what mine is and give you my opinion and stuff like that. And this was supposed to be done like 2 weeks ago, but unfortunately life happened and I just stayed away from the online world and took a small break. So yeah, I've obviously recorded these days before you're watching this and you're seeing this at its scheduled time. So while you're watching this, I'm probably playing the last episodes and seeing just how cuckoo delusional all these theories, including my own, probably are firsthand. But just for the sake of fun, let us see just how delulu my take is. So, if you've been on any Dispatch socials and or interacted with other Dispatch fans, theories on who is working for, is related to, or is in fact Shroud in disguise, abound. Everyone has been accused, nobody is safe, not even Royd. Some people even thought Chase was being suspicious and accused him of being the traitor. But the two main suspects are either Blondeblazer and Invisigal, which obviously make much more sense since they're actual full-fledged romance options as well, so the betrayal will feel much more impactful. Some have even said that whomever you turned away is the traitor instead, so either Sonar or Coupe. But I don't think that's the case, to be honest, as again, that wouldn't be that impactful or realistic, because come on, whoever you choose to fire is the traitor. That's just way too easy in my opinion. But the theories about who this traitor is are way too many to cover, so I'll just go over the two most prominent ones, those of either VZ or the Blondeblazer aka Mandy being the traitor instead. As far as VZ being the traitor is concerned, I don't know, I mean, I guess I can see it. what with her, I was born to be a villain because of the type of powers that I have, you don't know me or what I've been through, and the fact that she has a moral crisis in the game and is like, I should probably leave the group, I'm not worthy, I'm not kind, I'm not a good person, and so on. But then she's also surprised to find herself being happy to be part of the team and be doing well and helping people and being a good person, being a hero instead of a villain. And she also comes off almost guilty in a sense when interacting with Robert, and the fact she somehow conveniently knew someone who gave her the tip about their warehouse was a bit of a red flag, to be honest. Shroud seemed aware of her asthma problem as well, so I don't know. It does make sense for her to have been working with Shroud and then got cold feet and now wants to redeem herself. I can see what Team Blondeblazer is saying here, to be honest, about Vizzy being a bit suspicious as well. But I don't know, to me that's not as probable, to be honest, as it feels like a super low-hanging fruit to make this ex-villain girl who's trying to better herself the traitor. So, I don't know, to me, Vizzy being the traitor doesn't seem as probable, but I do see what people are talking about because there are, in fact, some very suspicious details about her and how she acts in the game. Then we have people on Team Vizzy, who have been screaming since day one that Blondeblazer is playing us all and she's trying to manipulate us, and to be honest, that is what my theory is too. She was way too in your face from the get-go. Her disguise made every red flag in my mind soar to great heights as well, because, I mean, hello? She does look like Shroud now, and we all know that she's been suspected to be Shroud's daughter for a while now as well. And this whole necklace disguise thing is giving The Wolf Among Us glamour magic, to be honest. And all that pretending while in a form that's yours but not really yours, and everyone is none the wiser about what you actually look like, is giving major "these lips are sealed" energy, because how come you haven't told anyone? Why me? Why now? Just because I'm romancing you? So maybe she too feels a bit guilty. Maybe she wasn't supposed to tell anyone, but has developed actual feelings for Robert and wants to tell him. Maybe the disguise is convenient in more ways than one, since nobody can see the striking resemblance to your father in this way. And the fact that she only tells you she's Maddie if you choose to go on a date with her is a bit suspicious as well. The fact that she's voiced by Erin Yvette isn't really helping either, because she also voiced Snow White, and I'm like, I can see them, the parallels. I can see them, and I have connected the two, which I know is probably just my brain recognizing familiar patterns, especially since I adore The Wolf Among Us, and the creators have worked on both games, so it's natural for their work to be similar in some ways. But I don't know how else to explain it other than I think she's guilty and I just can't prove it yet. Also, what is up with her being adamant about us not going to that warehouse no matter what? Because even if you choose to say, let's go right now, she shuts that plan down immediately. But again, because I've been suspicious of her from the get-go, I fear confirmation bias is influencing how I view certain things she says and does. So we'll see how delusional I am about suspecting her of being the traitor as you're watching this. And as I'm sure you know by now, there's all kinds of crazy traitor theories out there, so it is hard to tell who is right and who is wrong, and who this traitor might end up being after all. However, if you're asking me what I truly want for the end, well, I'd prefer the no traitor twist, because that would be the best twist. The twist of having no twist, because that's a twist in and of itself. And to be honest, I'm not gonna lie, I do love me some good red herrings in stories in general, because I love the way they make you feel. And it's actually an ingenious, incredible way and a very fun tool that writers have. Set it up so people think something is going on, someone is the traitor and will betray us when we least expect it, and then flip it on its head and have some random character nobody even expected be the traitor instead, or better yet, have nobody be the traitor and just have the player go, yeah, I shouldn't have thought that just because I'm working with a team of ex-villains, someone is bound to betray me. This is a story about second chances after all, and I should have given these characters just that. Or they could do something funnier and have both Blondeblazer and Vizzy be traitors, and whoever you romanced develop actual feelings for Robert, and thus had their facade start cracking, and then they started having second thoughts about this betrayal as well. That would be much funnier in my opinion, but in any case, I really cannot wait to see how this entire story comes to an end. In any case, the fact this game has everyone running around, making up theories, watching videos online of said theories, the game reaching record numbers for its genre, and so on, are all incredible signs that the game is a success in more ways than just one. And to be honest, the fact that AdHoc has managed to make this type of games more popular is an achievement in and of itself that should be celebrated. The more popular this genre becomes, the more games like this we will get in the future. And ever since Telltale shut down, we have been starving for other such games, and I truly do believe that these games can be successful, maybe not GTA levels of successful, but they can be profitable for their studios and equally enjoyable for their fans too. And I can't think of anyone better to fill Telltale's shoes other than ex-Telltale talent that has worked on some of their best games. So the team deserves nothing but praise and congratulations for all these achievements, and I can't wait to see what they have in store for us in the future.